Hello YouTube. This is I'm gonna try to do this because in a hurry because we have some storms moving into Kansas, some bad weather. We're under a tornado watch today. But I wanted to just speak a little bit today. I just want to talk about the time when I was in a Bible college up in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I live in Kansas, so I'm from Kansas, but we had driven my car up in the 2 years before, and it was I believe it was a 1996 Toyota Corolla. I was just reading a storm alert on my phone. It just popped up. But anyways, while I was there, I didn't have any problems with the car or anything bad going on with the car. In fact, I had graduated with an associate's degree, and I was on my way back. But the week before that, I actually had the car serviced so that everything would be in tip-top condition. I had, the tires changed, the oil changed, and everything. It had taken it to the shop and everything. And so I got in my car, had everything loaded in, all the college stuff, you have all your clothes and all the stuff that you took up there and you was bringing them back. And so I was driving along, and it was an hour into leaving the city of St. Paul, Minnesota, and my car just started like really going slow, and I was like, what in the world is going on with my car? So I pulled off the interstate, and luckily where I went, it was just like a mile down the road was like a car lot, and I was like, oh, well, that's strange. I didn't even know that was here. There was nothing in that area except this car lot. So I pulled into the car lot, and I pulled into the service area, and they're like, okay, we'll look at your car, see what's going on. And they're like, just take what you need and take it out of the car. And I'm like, I have everything in my car. They're like, oh, just take out, your valuables. And I'm like, I have everything that's valuable in my car. So I took everything that I could. I had my laptop, I had camera equipment, so I took it out and everything. And so I went into the service area, and I was waiting. And then I seen some kind of commotion, and I was like, what's going on here? Well, evidently there was this football player there from the Minnesota Vikings, and he was like signing autographs. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know who he was or anything like that. So I was like, I'm not into football. And I had my camera equipment with me. It was slung on my shoulders, and everybody thought I was from the newspaper. I'm like, no, I'm not from the newspaper. Are you sure you're not from the newspaper? We have Deion somebody Sanders or something like that. And I was like, oh no, I'm not from the newspaper. My car just blew up. Anyways, so I was like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know who this football player is. And they're like, why don't you take some pictures? So I'm taking pictures of this gentleman, and I have no idea who he was. And in the meantime, they was calling me back to the service department. So I went over back to the service department, and they were like, we think your transmission blew. I'm like, oh no. It was horrible because, that was the only transportation I had to get back to Kansas. So I had to call the college, and they were going to send somebody out to get me, but they were at a wedding. So they said it may be a couple hours. So I had to stay at that car dealership for 2 hours. But everybody thought I was like a newspaper reporter, and they were like very nice to me and everything. And by the time my ride got there, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. But the moral to the story is that if it wouldn't have happened at that exact time, I wouldn't have been able to go to that car lot and wouldn't have been safe. I would have been maybe stranded in the middle of nowhere. And I thought about that verse when I was at that car lot. In Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will direct your paths. I believe that God directed my paths. And I did take some photos of that football player. In fact, I have one right here. I don't know if you can see him or not, but evidently, I guess he was a rookie that year, but for some reason, I was directed to that car dealership on that exact day that he was going to be there. And that was unbelievable to me. I know I never met him before. Everybody, all his agents and everything were like really, like I said, they thought I was part of a newspaper. But I praise God for that day because I did learn something, to trust in Him, to let Him direct my path. And that's all I had today. I better go because it's starting to storm. I see lightning out there. It's very dark here, even though it's pretty early. But have a blessed day.